Anthony Cumia Show.
Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Bill O'Reilly just going over all of President Trump's favorite songs, but he left this one out. I know this for a fact. Guns N' Roses, November Rain, a President Trump favorite. Siggy Flicker did an interview with Trump last year, and he said this was his favorite. He picked this one ahead of Sinead O'Connor's Nothing Compares to You, and O'Reilly had neither one of those songs on that list, so I don't know. Who knows who's right?
Did not know.
I guess he didn't know. I just saw my dear friend Monica Crowley, who I spoke to yesterday, walking in Prime Minister Starmer from England as all these European leaders arrive at the White House with Zelensky. And right before Starmer walked in, I could have sworn I saw Anthony Cumia.
Am I a world leader now?
Well, I think you're something close. I don't know what you are exactly, but
I don't know. They're all the world leaders are in Washington. What? Trying to make Marco Rubio look bad?
I saw that. He was great. He beat the living daylights out of Margaret Brennan on Face the Nation yesterday. She's a wench, Anthony. That's what she is.
She's just like every other mainstream media shill for the left. Everything that's done has to be bad because it's Rubio or Trump or Republicans. Meanwhile, who the hell was trying to do anything as far as the Russia-Ukraine war under the Biden administration? Was there ever anything but just pumping more money and more weapons into a meat grinder? They're actually trying to do something now. Trump is speaking with the principal players in this whole thing. They didn't even acknowledge Putin under a Biden administration, and it's somehow a bad thing. And what? Peace plans are supposed to go very smoothly. You sit at a table, and it's like, well, they said if Trump doesn't get an answer from him in 3 minutes, he's walking out. Like they aren't dynamic and change as you're talking. It's the most ridiculous thing, this mainstream media. They cannot give him 1 ounce of credit for anything he's trying to do.
You nailed it. That's the bottom line. He did want a ceasefire. He didn't get a ceasefire because, as you and I know, Anthony, a ceasefire usually is very short, doesn't work. But when you can get a real peace agreement, which is what he's hopefully on his way to getting now, that is so much better. But all they care about is they met on Friday and nothing got done. But the truth is, and I had 2 great guests on earlier this morning, Batya Ungar-Sargon, who's on Fox News all the time, as well as KT McFarland, who worked for 4 presidents, including Trump, and is also on Fox News all the time. And they both said, that, you know what, they got a lot done on Friday because the security guarantee coming from Putin, as long as, of course, the Russians hold on to the land they've got anyway, could mean the beginning of peace.
Right. He's, reports are that he said he will put it in writing. He'll give his word, whatever, that means as far as Putin's concerned, that he will not pull any more shenanigans over there in Europe. He just wants the, I call it the dumbass region, but Donbass region. And, it sounds reasonable. And I'm sure there are people that, especially Ukrainians, pride gets in the way of a lot of these things, too. They don't want to look like they're on the losing end of something. But when you're putting your young men into literally a meat grinder, you really have to look at some compromise here. And people that don't understand the difference between a ceasefire and a peace agreement, all you have to have been is married. You don't have a ceasefire with your wife. They don't hold up. You start yelling again.
Yeah.
You need to sit down and have a peace agreement. And again, talk about compromise.
Yeah.
How many times we as married men at some point in my life, I was, that peace agreement seems really one-sided, Sid.
Always is. I'm married 33 years because I understand it's one-sided.
Yeah.
And I did have ceasefires early in the marriage. A ceasefire early in the marriage is called makeup sex.
Yeah, that's
a ceasefire.
But then the peace agreements are called things like the I'm biting my lip accord.
Yes.
Let me pull my hair out by the roots. Those kind of things. So compromise is a big part of this.
Oh, it's huge. Listen, Peter King and I no longer talk because he just doesn't understand, and he thinks he's well versed at this, and he's a brilliant guy, but he just doesn't understand. He's going on and on. Ukraine's not losing the war. They're losing the war. They're losing land. They're losing more men, not because they're not courageous. In fact, you can make the argument they're more courageous, more brave, and better fighters than the Russians. But there's something called attrition. And Ukraine cannot compete with Russia. They got more men. They got more. They have more. They got everything more. They got more than Ukraine has on every level. So they can't win. So to your point, you have to come to the realization we can't win. We're losing all these beautiful young people. And let's just compromise, okay? He's not giving up that land anyway, Putin. So let him have it. And let's move on.
No, see what happens in the future. Like you just said, it's a mathematics problem now.
Right.
It's just you don't have as many as they do. Eventually, you're going to lose. Why sacrifice so many of these young people when you could compromise?
I'll tell you
something
else.
Putin apologists. We're going to be called Putin apologists.
Please. I say this all the time with Trump. I believe that he started to gain ground. Not the indictments before that. I've said this a million times. When he went to East Palestine, Ohio, because no one was going there, Anthony. Right. Not Biden, not Buttigieg. These poor people are still glowing in the dark, right? I mean, you had chemicals in the air. This guy's handing out McDonald's and water to Americans, the same day that Trump got to Ohio. Where was Biden? He was giving another check to Zelensky in the Rose Garden in Ukraine. Hate to say it, Peter King and everybody else, Brian Kilmeade, all you guys, even Mark Levin. Nobody wants to see that anymore. Nobody.
No. And they just don't understand how diplomacy works. I mean, the idea that you're just not going to talk to somebody. For years, since the conflict started during the Biden administration, no one would even talk to Putin. And if there was any inkling that a peace talk could even start, they put the kibosh on it. They stopped it. They don't want peace in that region. It's too profitable for people. And they certainly don't want Trump to have brokered a peace because then, my God, they're going to have to say something good about him.
Yeah. I see all this pomp. You're right about that, Anthony. I see all this pomp and circumstance. And it's kind of cool. They got the flags, for every person who shows up. There's 7 different European leaders outside of Zelensky. The clown from the UK is there. That idiot Macron from France is there. The cute Italian girl. But what they're missing, I think you'll agree with this, what they're missing outside the White House right now with all the pomp and circumstance and the flags and all the military people. How about this? How about some male cheerleaders?
Oh, God, I knew it. I talked about this at the beginning of my show yesterday, and it as far as a problem goes, an issue, it's nothing. And I think you could agree, Sid. You're a guy, you're covering the big stories. You're talking with the movers and shakers in world politics. So the cheerleading men on the Vikings and the Patriots and whatnot, is it really a life-altering story? I can go out, I can go to the supermarket, I could get gas. It's not going to affect me. It's just funny. We just find men with pom-poms jumping around on a football field to be funny in some way, shape, or form because it's so out there. And, I talked about it, and the one real horrible part of it is the Patriots cheerleader guy, the guy cheerleader. His name is Jeremy Greer, and I can only imagine the names they came up with for him in high school with the last name Greer. You don't have to be a genius to make a few rhymes.
Sure. Give me one. Go ahead.
Rear.
Right.
Queer.
Yeah.
I'm sure that one was used a lot.
You could even go from the great movie An Officer and a Gentleman.
Oh, yes.
There's only 2 things from the state of Oklahoma. and I don't see any steer. Steer! How about
Steers.
that? Yes.
Yeah, that was Full Metal Jacket also.
Yes.
Yeah.
They all work.
So I'm certain this guy
Ear? You could stick it in the ear, I guess. I don't know.
And then I was thinking, if his dad, he called his dad and said, "Hey, Dad, I just signed with the New England Patriots." And the dad's like, "I knew it was just a phase. I told your mother. I knew it." And then, you got to tell Dad to sit down because
I got bad news.
It's not quite what you think.
Although you see some of these, got about 40 seconds, but like in college, for example, when they have the cheerleaders run on the court, and you get these guys, they're all built like Mitch Gaylord, like these gymnasts.
Right.
They got huge muscles. They look like $1 million. They throw these girls up in the air like 6,000 feet. They catch them. And I don't think those guys are gay. I don't know. Maybe they are. I don't know. You would know better than me.
I would know. They did. There was part of it, especially back in the old days. They have that cardboard bullhorn and rah rah sis boom ba, and they, like you said, they're bottom of the pyramid, holding the girls up. Yeah, that's understandable. And even then, I'm sure they caught a lot of crap from the football team. But these guys, I mean, this is just not quite what the football audience really wants. I don't think.
No, you're right. I mean, like you mentioned on your show, you got Kevin James has one hand down his sweatpants. He's got an old Emerson Boozer jersey on. He's 6 beers in. He's going commercial breaks to YouPorn. This is the brilliant musical stylings of Anthony Cumia, 8 to 11, every Sunday night here on ABC. Of course, I'm Sid Rosenberg. More of Sid and Ant, Sid right after these short messages.
It's the Anthony Cumia Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Johnny Cash. Trump loves Johnny Cash. So do I. So does Lewis. Ring of Fire. I'm sure so does Anthony. In fact, the Dylan movie, I keep bringing it up like it just came out. I know it's old, but I just saw it, so bear with me. And Timothy, what is his name? Chalamet. He's got a new movie coming out, and John Katzmatidis is actually in the movie. It'll be out Christmas Day. Oh. Yes, late this year. But he was good friends, Dylan, with Johnny Cash. Cash used to stick up. Are you a Johnny Cash fan, Anthony?
Yeah. I mean, growing up, my formative years spent out in California with my dad, horses, the whole thing. So Johnny Cash was playing all the time.
So you're a real man's man. You're a real man. You like Johnny Cash. You got guns.
Back then when I was about in my teen years, my dad bought me a horse out there. Wow. This is when California was kind of a good place. It was Republican. It was conservative. You could ride your horse around. Everything wasn't built up into condos, and it was a much nicer place than we see now.
Yeah, but this is not. You're not talking about Los Angeles. Where the hell were you?
No, I was in Orange County. I was at San Juan Capistrano, where the swallows come back every year. Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it is lovely. So, are you a Bob Dylan fan too?
No, I can't get through 2 seconds of a Bob Dylan song.
Really?
Yeah, and it's not even the typical, like his singing style.
Sure.
I was never into that folk. Johnny Cash had an edge to it. I was never into that folky stuff that was going on in the 60s.
No, I didn't like that either. I mean, they go back to Woody Guthrie and all that. But But like Blowing in the Wind or what's the rock and roll song again? The one I like that they actually took the title from.
Like a Rolling Stone.
Like a Rolling Stone. You don't like that?
Yeah. No, it doesn't do anything for
Terrible.
me.
It's awful. Don't ever play it again, Lou, in fact.
I like Trump's playlist from what I heard. Yeah, like Enter Sandman. It's nice.
But here's the thing with you. Even if you didn't like the songs, you would say I like Trump. Because you love Trump so much, it wouldn't matter. Like if you had the Bay City Rollers, you'd go, oh, my God, I love that.
Not quite. Not quite. But it's surprising that a guy that's 79 years old likes some songs that are rocking.
Oh, yeah, no, he likes rock. He loves rock. You heard the numbers that Arati talked about. I mentioned, which I know for a fact, he loves Guns N' Roses, Sinead O'Connor. And when I went to visit Trump last December, I've had a bunch of times, but last December in Mar-a-Lago, I walked in. I'm telling you the true story. I walk in, Alina Habba is in this adorable outfit, Siggy Flicker. it was Beach Boys night, and the actual Beach Boys were performing at the pool at Mar-a-Lago.
That's something.
Isn't that great?
That's something. I can't even tell like what musicians will play and show up for Trump and which ones hate him. Because you find out he plays a song, everyone gets psyched about it, and then you find out the artist goes, we don't want him playing that.
Well, I'll tell you who likes him right now. George Strait.
Yeah.
Gloria Gaynor.
Right. The Lincoln Center, yes.
Right. The Kennedy Center.
Kennedy Center.
Yeah, all that stuff.
And I heard some news show, I guess MSNBC, one of these terrible news agencies, and they're talking about how Gloria Gaynor was a DEI appointment because they just wanted to have an African-American woman on there.
It was The View, Ana Navarro, and then she begged Gloria Gaynor not to go.
Yeah. What? How about you mind your own business?
Yeah, you dumb biatch.
Mind your own business. How that View is still on is beyond.
MSNBC announced today, talking about these liberal networks, that it's over. We've known this now for months. NBC dropped them a while ago, but now it's becoming official. They're going to be MS. That's it, MS.
Yeah.
And they're going to be gone from NBC. So you got to think it's just a matter of time. You mentioned The View. Look at how despicable, we mentioned earlier, Margaret Brennan was, CBS Face the Nation, or this dummy Kristen Welker every Sunday, NBC Meet the Press. They should all be gone, and all of them.
Yeah. I mean, we're kind of working toward that. I think people are either waking up. I don't think it's so much waking up as the people that have been awake are finally starting to say something. And it's translating to businesses and other things where people, except for the NFL, where they're going, this has been ridiculous over the past few years. So let's get back to business, the business of America. Let's have some pride in nation. Let's, make America great again, like somebody has said.
Yeah. Well, what is the NFL doing now? What was Roger Goodell's latest announcement?
Well, no, my idea is with the cheerleader thing. It's just the go woke, go broke thing. And, it's Bud Light. We saw how that worked out.
That was a disaster.
Jaguar. We saw the Jaguar thing. The CEO just got the boot because they were not even selling cars in their commercials. I don't know what it was. But, I think people are starting to realize this is not working.
No, they've had enough.
We need to get back to tradition.
Right. Here's more proof they've had enough. This story broke over the weekend. So Spike Lee did this whole thing in and around the former 49er quarterback Colin Kaepernick. And let me just say this. I don't dislike Colin Kaepernick. I don't dislike him. I hate his guts, okay? I don't care. I don't care that his teammate on the 49ers who did serve in the military, it was his idea to kneel. I don't care. Right. It was this. His girlfriend is a lowlife and a loser, Kaepernick. He is too. I don't care what Mike Lupica says or the rest of these people. He caused more divide in this country, this dopey two-win quarterback, than maybe anybody. So the fact that ESPN, the woke ESPN said, we're not playing it, that made me so happy over the weekend.
Yeah. I mean, no one wants to see this guy. He isn't a sports figure that's like, I need to get an in-depth biography of this guy. And then tied with Spike Lee. I don't know what your relationship is with Spike Lee.
Yeah.
But I don't like him about as much as you don't like Colin Kaepernick. So
I hate Spike Lee, too. I see him at Knick games every now and then. But this idiot, this Spike Lee, when the whole Imus thing went down with the unfortunate remark he made about the nappy head.
Very, very unfortunate. Yeah.
So Spike Lee goes on the Oprah Winfrey show. And then, Imus said what he said. And my late great friend Bernard, God rest his soul, all Bernard did was repeat something from a movie. But Spike Lee actually credited me with that on the Oprah Winfrey show. Oof. And went on to just hammer me. And I'm going, that wasn't even me, you jackass. It wasn't even me. I swear to God, Spike Lee. So I'm not look, I think he's a talented guy. I mean, I got to tell you, one of my favorite movies of all time, 25th Hour. You ever see that? Ed Norton.
Ed Norton, right.
Philip
right.
Seymour Hoffman.
Patrice is in that for 2 seconds. Patrice O'Neill, he's a doorman at a club. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
That is a good movie.
That's a good movie. But otherwise, I don't care.
Otherwise.
But, you talk about woke. So I heard, I guess it was last year, after he interviewed Kamala Harris, that horrible interview, and he said, people describe me as woke. And he said, I want to be woke. He goes, you know what the opposite of woke is? Asleep. And I don't want to be asleep. Now, you know what I'm talking about?
Who?
Howard Stern. He goes, I want to be woke because the opposite is asleep. Now, Richard Johnson in the Daily News this weekend said, despite people saying that he'll come back, take less money, he's not going out this way, that the rumors are Howard is, in fact, going to retire. Your thoughts?
Well, I know they're promoting on satellite radio. They're promoting him coming back because he barely does a show anymore. I guess he takes the entire summer off. So he's coming back on such and such a date, and they're promoting how he's going to address this and he's going to talk about it. I guess they want a last hurrah of people listening to
but
him.
you know that he takes the summer off, completely off for 3 months. But after the announcement was made a couple of weeks ago, which you and I did a great job with, they got 1 million hits on YouTube.
Amazing.
He actually came to work the next day. He was on the air.
Did he say anything about it? Because
Yes, he actually came in and specifically did 1 4-hour show, which he never does, in the middle of the summer 2 weeks ago, just talking about the rumors.
But he didn't say whether he's retiring or not.
No, he did not say that.
Yeah. I can't see him doing it. Like we talked about in the past, the mic is an addiction. He doesn't have it. If he was a young guy who might want to take some time off and then go into his own thing on the internet maybe or something, that's one thing. When you're, what is he now, 71, 72
71.
by the time the contract ends?
Yep.
What does he have left? And it sounds funny to say, what does a guy have left that has almost $1 billion? But, he needs something. He needs the attention, the adoration, this feeling that he's relevant. So I say he is staying, no matter what they give him.
Yeah, I say too. I can't, especially going out this way. And he can make it. You can make the argument. Well, I don't, like you said, I don't need them, and I made Sirius XM. Thank you, Mel Parmesan, but I made them, and he can go out looking like a hero anyway. But I can't see it this way either. I can't.
He never wanted to fizzle out. Like, there are these other jocks that got older, and he would bash them relentlessly about how they overstayed their welcome in the business, and they just faded away.
Yeah.
And he never wanted to be that. And it's looking like that's how Howard's career is going to end, and it's got to kill him.
So were there other guys when you were growing up, Anthony? Because I know you're a humble guy, but the truth is you're going to be on that Mount Rushmore, the all-time radio greats.
Oh, my goodness.
No, you're going to be there, and that's true. But were there other guys? I know you loved Stern for a while there, and then you had your own thing with Opie. Other guys like, listen, I like Bob Grant, I like Paul Harvey, I like Wolfman Jack. Any other guys for you?
Bob Grant was huge for me. Like, I used to listen to him all the time, loved him. But I also, for some reason, I liked the old music boss jocks, Ron Lundy and I Am BB, and those guys on WAMBC. Those guys, it was a mystery to me. It was like this, the radio, you didn't know what they looked like or where they were sitting. You had this mental image of it, and it just always seemed unbelievably cool to me to do that. And so some of those old guys, and I think every boy especially gets their first taste of radio with their dad. You're sitting in the car or the truck with your father, and he puts on the talk radio, and sometimes it was a little a little bawdy at times.
Yeah.
And he'd look over and kind of laugh. And it was just a great kind of father and son thing before I told him I wanted to be a cheerleader.
Right.
Then he got
He got very upset, sure.
Upset with me.
Lewis, the great Lou Ruffino, who's running the board right now and runs the board and just is just one of the greatest ever, he says that Scott Muni was overrated.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Scotso.
Yeah.
Well, I knew Scotso during the very tail end of his career. But, radio was a different animal back then, too. He was out there with the musicians of the time, which was the 60s. NEW was a huge rock station back then. Meeting the Beatles I met the Beatles on the tarmac at Idlewild Airport. It's like it was kind of a thing for the time. But I think, as time went by and shock jocks and things like that started happening, I think, he kind of
did he
got
fizzle
pushed out?
Yeah, I guess he did. I loved him though. He
was a great guy.
Of all the Scots,
really nice.
he was my favorite. Like I never got into Scott Shannon. Maybe because when I got fired by Imus, him and Todd Pettengill did this whole thing on me what a bad guy I was.
Oh.
Yeah, so years later, he gave me, I saw him with Bernard at WABC, and he tried to be nice, but I'm like, I know what he said about me, you dick. So,
Sid, isn't it the worst thing when you get fired and all the other jocks are on their shows bashing you?
Yes!
And there ain't a damn thing you could do about it.
So that's why I liked Howard at one point, because when Imus initially fired me for my Williams sisters comments back in 2001, Howard and Robin defended me. They're like, wait a second. Imus is going to fire somebody for a racially insensitive bad joke? Imus?
Yeah.
So I like them because of that,
Mm-hmm. Well, that was back when, he was a little more honest. And look, he was trying to protect his own ass a lot of times because he was doing and saying stuff that was pretty much the same about people that could be interpreted as being racist or sexist or homophobic.
Interpreted? He had Black Jeopardy.
He literally had a KKK guy on. Yeah, I mean...
And he had the guy from Austria talking about the Jews. He hated the Jews.
Oh God, yeah.
What was his name again?
It was
oh God,
because it was Fred. It was Fred that was playing.
It was Fred. That's right. He had King of all blacks. This black, that black. Are you kidding me? Come on.
And those are looked at as the golden age of the Howard Stern shows.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why Jimmy Fallon always filled in for Howard, because he also made fun of blacks at every opportunity. He did a Karl Malone skit that was so degrading and so horrible, and yet he was fine. It's Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, I should say.
Kurt Waldheim Jr.
Yes, Kurt Waldheim.
That was bugging me. Kurt Waldheim Jr.
Let's take a short break. That's good stuff. That is good stuff, Anthony Cumia. Anthony and Sid will be right back.
It's the Anthony Cumia Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Your burger is served, and this is our finest Pepsi Zero Sugar. Its sweet profile perfectly balances the savory notes of your burger.
That is one perfect combination. Burgers deserve Pepsi.
Another one bites the dust. Another Greg Kelly show. He's in Cyprus. I've been there. I was there, 2 weeks ago? Cap St. George's. Danielle and I had a wonderful time at a feria, an amazing young lady. It's a gorgeous place. Greg is going to love it, and you guys will love it too. So your next resort destination, check out the lovely Cap St. George's in Cyprus. You know what I realized? I got New York One on here, Anthony. It's this communist, socialist local channel. Yeah. They're horrible people. And they picked the New Yorker of the Week, and I realized I'm never going to get it. I'm never going to get the New York One New Yorker of the Week, ever.
And you should.
I should.
Yeah.
Of course I should.
Out there, big radio guy.
Right. Talking to the Secretary of State, the President, the Prime Minister of Israel. I'm knee-deep in the mayor's race. They all want to wine and dine me. And they will never, ever consider me because I'm not a liberal. So.
No, that's how the mainstream media works. And they're not even really mainstream.
No.
They're just kind of out there. Boy, that MSNBC thing, now they're MS Now. I saw the logo.
Yeah.
I just, I'm sorry, but the first thing I think of is multiple sclerosis.
Me too. I swear to God.
It's not a good,
no.
I
put the same thing, MS, multiple sclerosis.
It's the first thing you think of because, from the charity organizations, everything, MS, that's all you think. Of course, they're so stupid.
Jamie Lynn Sigler, our dear friend, she was a big star as Meadow on The Sopranos when you guys were red hot. Back in 2001, she has MS.
Yes, she wears it well.
She does.
She
looks great. Yeah,
she does a podcast with what's his name?
Isn't she married to Lenny Dykstra's son?
Yeah,
right.
Lenny Dykstra is her father-in-law.
Yes,
nails, and he's just insane.
Well, one of the last times I was on your show, your great show, I walked a couple of blocks away. I was working with Bernard at Madison Square Garden.
Right.
And I think you had Kurt Schilling on the same day I was on.
Yeah.
And we were talking about Lenny. Lenny was doing something crazy at the time, but yeah, and I like Lenny. He's been on the show a bunch of times, but he's completely insane. He's lost his, he's gone. It's over.
Oh, yeah. He's a wild man. And we had him on. We wanted to have him on my network to do a show, an hour a week, something like that. And he just couldn't even handle that. He was that just unpredictable and crazy. And believe me, I had Artie Lang on there. So, you could say, is he worse than Artie Lang?
That's saying a lot. So you have one guess in the next minute. Zelensky showed up at the White House. Mm-hmm. And you have one guess, Anthony, of what he was wearing. Take a guess.
Is he wearing that stupid wannabe soldier outfit again?
I know he's wearing a black T-shirt, like Macron, who's a scumbag, shows up in a suit, and the guy from England shows up in a suit, and your boy walked in a black T-shirt. So.
He dresses like LeBeau from Hogan's Heroes.
Great reference.
Yeah. He's a little guy. He dresses in his little, I'm playing Army Man. And, black T-shirt. I mean, all the world leaders there, supposedly to back him up, because they're so angry. But, Rubio set her straight.
He did a great job with that. Yeah.
That was so good.
Hogan's Heroes. The great Richard Dawson was on that show.
Yes. Then he went on to give mouth herpes to a lot of people on Family Feud.
It was weird how they would all kiss him like that, and like he would like make out with them practically.
Yeah, it was a power move because the husband would be there. Richard, this is my lovely wife, Elizabeth, and he'd be like, "Oh, come over here, darling, come over here." And he's kissing, and the guy's got to sit there like he's in the cuck chair next to the bed in the hotel. Just terrible.
That's exactly what it was. Those were the original cuckold videos, right there.
Yeah, Richard Dawson.
Anthony, every time I do this with you, I want to do it again because it's so great, man. That
anytime.
was another great hour. Man, you are so great. Folks, check out Anthony, 8 to 11 every Sunday night. I'm sure he'll be here throughout this week as well with Greg Kelly in Cyprus. Anthony Cumia, you're a genius. I love you. Thank you.
You, Sid. You.
Get out of here. That's Anthony Cumia. I'm Sid Rosenberg. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 for Sid and Friends in the morning. Until then, for Anthony, Lewis, Justin, the whole crew here, have yourselves a good Monday. Peace.
Thanks for listening to The Anthony Cumia Show. You can hear The Anthony Cumia Show Sunday nights at 8. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?